This isn't a hate video.
All quest dungeons have been completed, but we're mostly finished with this part of the project.
Skyblivion, the game whose development team is constantly saying that they want to be as transparent as possible. Are they? Let's take a look.
Skyblivion!
Bye.
I'm a corporate investigator. It's my job to analyze claims, to see if those claims are trustworthy or if they are synthetic. So I'm going to do that. More specifically, we're going to analyze the latest update video by the team's lead, Rebelzize. We're going to break down what he says, see a lot of the contradictions, and also analyze some of the past statements and current statements by the development team outside of Rebelzize. And I think you'll find it really, really interesting.
And to be as transparent as possible,
for a development team that often states that they want to be as transparent as possible, I'm going to go through a lot of this video, a lot of their statements, and show that really what they say isn't quite transparent. In fact, it's misleading, and some would call it purposely misleading. Some of their own development team does. And I hope that you actually watched the video that I'm referring to, or have watched the video that I'm referring to. It's the most recent release that Rebelzize has put out regarding the update. It's called Skyblivion Delay to 2026, What We Have Left to Do. The first thing that I want to talk about is the constant contradiction of timeframes, the timelines that don't add up. Let's start with the most basic promise that any game project makes. It's a release window. Based off developer quotes in their own team, based off the release of Oblivion Remaster, we could speculate as to why they rushed and said that they want to release the game in 25, or more specifically, that they're going to release the game in 2025. The developer quotes are the most important, and I'm really going to break all of these down and see how they correlate later on in the video. But based on all the evidence that we're going to break down, this 2025 release announcement appeared to have been disingenuous, i.e., not transparent. In the video, Rebelzize claims that they have known for some time that they were not going to release Skyblivion in 2025. And again, based on developer quotes, past and current, it becomes pretty clear that they were never really having much of an option of releasing the game in 2025. But let's break down the actual timeline. The dev team announced the 2025 release date at the end of Q1. How long can sometime really be? Based on all the things that Rebelzize has said needs to be done, it seems pretty clear that they all knew that there was really no chance that the game was going to be released in 2025. Let's talk about some of the things that actually need to be done. We're going to call this the Imperial problem. According to this update, the world map is 100% finished. All major cities are complete. All quest dungeons are done. Except for the Imperial City, which somehow is missing core 3D access, is blocking quests, is blocking interiors, is blocking navmesh, and is described as the single biggest hurdle left in the entire project. So, which is it? Is the world basically done, or is it still fundamentally incomplete? You don't get to claim 95% completion while one city is actively paralyzing half your production pipeline. And as you can see, here's where the logic starts to collapse. They admit that the nav mesh depends on finished environments. They also admit that multiple environments aren't finished yet. But they estimate nav mesh will be fully complete by Q1 of 2026. That's just not possible. You can't finalize pathing on locations that don't exist yet. Here's Rebelzize's quote.
The estimate for completion of quest-relevant locations is Q4 2025, and navmesh as a whole, including QA, will be wrapped up by Q1 2026.
We're at the end of Q4, which means that navmesh logically cannot be completed by Q1 of 2026. Their own production contradicts itself. He says that the core gameplay systems will be done, will be complete by the end of the year, but then follows it up by saying that QA won't be available until Q1 of 2026. So what exactly is complete if nobody can meaningfully test it? Finished doesn't mean coded. It means finished. It means stable, tested, and playable. And by their own words, this isn't. Let's talk about the cut features that are also planned. Underwater combat, spell crafting, they say is broken and unusable, and the source code is lost. But in the same update, they also list spell crafting as planned post-launch content. You can't simultaneously say that this system is broken and unusable, and we plan to add it shortly after release. The two statements, they can't exist together in the same reality. And their own development team says so. And we're just about to get to that. Polishing. Polishing. I'm not even sure they know what polishing really is. It's a very vague word that is used as a blanket to cover everything. Let's talk about his use of polishing. At one point, he says that there's no real deadline for polishing, but they also claim a firm 2026 release date. You can't have both. Either there's a deadline or the release window is still completely unknown. Frankly, you never know until testing begins. If you know anything about game dev, when you fix something, you often break two things, especially when you have a revolving door of devs coming and going. And this is a constant theme.
Also
Let's
something he
break
showed
down
off
this
some years
particular
ago.
quote.
We had a very talented modder help out with the mechanic, and he left the project after he finished his work. Unfortunately, due to the way the mod was made, it broke after a couple of Skyrim updates, and the source code was never shared, making it completely unusable for us.
Why can't you use it? Why wasn't it shared? This appears to be part of some of the drama, the lack of leadership and coordination that has been leaked by ex-developers. Keys, a former world dev in particular, has been really vocal about this stuff, claiming that Rebelzize cares more about PR than transparency. He also claims that the update videos are essentially false. He claims that the statements made by Rebelzize are pointless and unachievable. He also stated that the mod is never in the state that the dev videos would show off. He was a major part of the team. And again, speaking about D keys, he was a major part of the team that is splashing a major amount of cold water on the project. It's important to know that D keys is no longer with the team. Many who are watching, many who have read, will probably claim bitter grapes on his behalf. But it's also important to know that he said many lukewarm things about the leadership and the direction and some of the lack of transparency long before he left. And he wasn't asked to leave that I know of. If I'm wrong, if you guys know something that I don't know, please let me know in the comments section. And why? Why did he leave? Well, he and another major part of the development team left because of concerns that they had brought to Rebelzize, concerns that they had with Rebelzize talking a lot of things regarding the 2025 release, making unrealistic claims and essentially issues that they had with the way that the communication and the way that they were being pushed. Basically insinuating that Rebelzize was not communicative and was making the project like a commercial project rather than a a passion project, which it was for the first 10 years of development. And as we now know, we have another major part of their development team who has some negative things to say regarding the quotes that Rebelzize said in the latest video. More specifically, saying that they plan on adding some of the issues that aren't functioning post-launch. Says that he was never informed and that it really cannot happen. Long story short, as we can kind of see, it seems like there's quite a bit of issues behind the scenes. It seems like there's a lack of leading and, frankly, transparency. But why does the drama, why does the contradictions actually matter? The updates are ambiguous. The updates are vague. Some have said, and you can use your own opinion here, Some say that the updates are purposely misleading. Really, delays happen. It's okay. It is a fan project. We're not paying for this. We're not investing in this. We're investing our time. We're investing our trust in the dev team. It's no biggie if they don't get the game out in 2025. It's no biggie if they don't get the game out in 2026. Again, it's a free project. But as contributors and developers have come out and publicly said, the team has a history of misleading their audience in the update videos. This update is no different. Its own internal logic collapses repeatedly. We see timelines that are impossible to reach and that do not make sense. We see core locations that are both finished and at the same time blocking progress. We see mechanics that are complete but untestable, features both canceled and planned. There's no deadline and a fixed deadline all at the same time. This isn't transparency. This is a narrative drift. If you're going to promise transparency, give us honesty, give us clarity. This doesn't have to be a resume for a future video game project that is going to be put out later on. Development updates should reduce confusion. They shouldn't multiply it. They shouldn't create internal drama. But let's put the drama away. Let's just make a good game. Let's just all get together and play the game that we've been so excited about. No matter what, if it comes out crappy, then I'll play a crappy game. It doesn't have to be a 5-star AAA type of game. This doesn't have to be a commercial project. This is a passion project. Let's go back to the way it was 5 years ago or 10 years ago and make the game as a passion project, not as a commercial project. And if I'm wrong about any of this, I will happily come back and say I'm wrong. Rebelzize, if you want to talk to me about it, I'm more than happy. We have the largest narrative video game website in the world, and I'd be happy to break everything down and do whatever it takes to make it right if I'm wrong. But all I have to go on are the tea leaves. I gotta swim, gotta sift through them. All we have to go on is statements made by other developers. Let's find some clarity and let's talk about it in the comments section. If you like this, definitely go to my main channel. Definitely go to our website, link in the description. But if you don't like, well, if you don't like it, just well, I'm sorry.